Yo, what's up? My name is Hal, and today I'll be teaching you how to do a more interesting side mix in Ableton. I found this technique through listening and studying Sleepnet's tracks, and the track I'll show you today in particular is Finality by Sleepnet. And the way I found out about this is by listening to the mid and side signal with the Brainworks meter. I found out something very interesting by doing this, and I'll show you what it is right now. So that's the mid signal, and then this is the side signal. Back to the mids. So basically, if you're unfamiliar with doing this, then nothing might have stood out to you. But in my case, because I do this a lot, I found this very interesting because the side signal sounds weirdly clipped or distorted in a way. Let's listen back to it, and I want you to focus on the snare. As you can hear, the snare in the side signal has some sort of clipped/distorted artifacts. So I went to research what that was, and I couldn't find anything, but I just, based on my experience, I figured it was a Wavefolder. So I went to try it out, and this is the example I got. I'll turn it off at first, so you can hear the example just dry. I mean, it's a very dull example, but it should work to show off this technique. So when I turn this on, this is what it sounds like. And then without again. As you can hear, when I turn it on, it sounds more exciting. And I'll show you why that is in a second. Basically, if I turn it off, I'll turn off the wave shaper for a second. I'll remake the rack entirely, actually. So let's do this. You want to grab an audio effect rack, and you want to make two chains. One dry, one mid, and one side. Then what you want to do is grab a utility and put them on both chains. Then right-click the width button, because I've already enabled it, but right-click the width button and turn it to mid-side mode. And then turn one to mid and one to side, according to which one is which. And that's basically part one done. You have split your entire signal into mid and side. So we'll proceed with adding the Melda Wavefolder. And I suggest you grab this because it is free. And what we'll do first is do a pre-high pass and set it to 250 Hertz. So what that basically does is it applies a high pass to the incoming signal, which we do just to make sure there's no low end, which there shouldn't really be in your sides anyways. So then we proceed with a post low pass, and the reason we do this is just in case that there is some very high frequencies that are unnecessary, we filter those out, because human hearing only goes to 20,000 Hertz, and we want to make sure that it gets rounded off very nicely and smoothly. Then I'll proceed with taking down the character. You can experiment with character symmetry and non-linearity, but I recommend just doing it like this because that gives the more linear result. You can play with oversampling as well, depending on what your CPU can handle. I'll go for 64 right now. So, as we can hear, nothing has changed yet. So the next thing we'll do is we'll crank up the drive while listening to it, and we'll stop whenever it gets too loud. So let's solo the side signal and crank up that drive. See, at around 21 dB, it became a little too distorted, so I'll just round it off to 21, and let's listen to it. those sides sound very crunched together. And that's exactly what we want, because now if we stop soloing the side signal, this is what we get. And then again, if we use the Brainworks meter to just solo those sides, you can hear the same effect that was happening with Sleepnet's finality. Those mids are like unprocessed and super tight, while the sides are very crunched together and give like this glued harmonic effect. So I hope that helps, and I hope that is a technique you'll use in the future. I was for sure blown away when I found out about this, and I will definitely look into this further. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, feel free to use it, feel free to share, like, subscribe, you know, all that jazz. And yeah, I'll see you in the future. Peace.